Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but she still feels distant? Like the more you provide, the more you protect, perform, the more she pulls away and just like, what is going on? I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. You're not crazy. But you might be emotionally unavailable. No one ever told you this because no one knows. But I'll share why. I'm here to tell you how to get rid of this. You see, if you don't learn how to be vulnerably strong, you're not going to lose her to another man, like all these red pill dudes will tell you. You're going to lose her to her peace. And that's the worst competition you can face because she will never pick you ever again. Look, I get it, okay? We were raised to be composed. We were raised to be tough, reliable, and solid. Stoic, right? Cool. You show up. You don't shout. You keep the peace. Yet she still says, I don't connect with you anymore. Why is that? That's the part that broke me. I had gone through this whole way. I was the nice guy. Then I went into stoic mode. I was, listen, numb. You can't reach me. I have learned how to hone my emotions. More like close the door and never open it again. Right? But because I was working my arse off to be the man I thought she needed, deep down, I was failing at the very thing she was asking me to do. You see, we are under this impression that as long as we give them what they want, things will be smooth. Happy wife, happy life. Just give her what she wants. I'm here to tell you that what she wants is you. So if your idea of giving her what she wants defiles who you are, you're not giving her what she wants. You're giving her what you think she wants. And what you think she wants is something that you're not really listening or understanding. They don't need your silence. They need your presence. And let's be real. When's the last time she saw you feel something without apologizing for it? You hide everything, including the happy and the good times, because you don't want her to use her vulnerability against you. So you hide it. You're scared. I want to ask you something. When was the last time you really felt? And it wasn't just about what you wanted her to hear. When is the last time you said she's overreacting because you're avoiding the very part of you that's checked out and is able to connect to that overreaction? You see, bro, she's not emotional. You're just emotionally absent. And the cost of staying like this, which they won't tell you, of course, is a woman that will sleep next to you and feel alone. Kids grow up thinking their dad was strong but unexpressed, and a legacy of survival and not connection. I'm gonna make this very fucking clear. The more emotionally unavailable you are, the more you force her to lead the connection. And here's the fun fact: no woman wants to lead, especially emotionally. Let me tell you something else. She doesn't want to be the man in the relationship, but that's exactly what you're doing by being emotionally numb. You see, when they tell you to be stoic, they didn't tell you that you're meant to lead your emotions, right? How are you supposed to lead your emotions if you're not familiar with it? Where does competence come from? Repetition. How are you going to be competent at something you never faced? You don't face your emotions. How can you be competent at facing your emotions? You've been blank, you've been bland, you're not being able to address how you're feeling, doesn't mean you're facing your emotions. I'm sorry. They lied to you. Every time she's vulnerable and you shut her down or you flinch, what you're saying is, I can't handle or be safe for you in this environment or space. But you disguise it, oh, why are you being so dramatic? She can't count on you emotionally. And because of that, she feels alone. And a woman that feels alone is the worst thing you can have in a relationship. You see, I've been the guy that was strong, reliable, calm. Yet, I slowly watched my relationships fade. And this is with people that genuinely thought were potential. This is before I got married, right? You say things like, you show up for everyone but me. Yeah, you hear me out, but you don't feel me. And those moments humbled me because I knew she was right. I just didn't know how to fix it. Because Lord knows I had been the nice guy, and I was scared of going into that room of emotions and saying, oh, she wants me to feel her deeply. I don't know how to do that. You see, as a Stoic, I thought I had gained the right to call myself the man. But I was just a manager. A manager who was micromanaging his emotions because he was scared to actually let them roam free. So I was great at surviving. Yeah, I was. I would know how to punch up a guy. I'd done jiu-jitsu training. I had learned how to regulate my emotions. But the regulation at the time was more like just turning it off without necessarily knowing how to turn them on. It wasn't until I owned the fact that I'll become numb that I decided to actually lead myself intentionally. And that is by controlling or handling or commanding my emotions by trusting they will follow the lead. You see, I want you to start doing this. Stop performing. Stop pretending you don't feel. Allow the emotions to reveal themselves and accompany them. Walk with them, hold them by your hand and say, okay, this is how you're feeling. All right. Okay, cool. This is where you're best gone. This is where you're best utilized. You're guiding them through a specific path. I feel anger. I feel frustration. I feel sadness. But I don't bottle it all in. I drive it into a specific room. Oh, anger, you're here. Okay, cool. Please, you know where to go. And then gym time. Boom. Out. I want you to ask yourself this. If you're trying to be strong but you don't know how, you're actually gaining clarity because you're admitting that you don't know. You see, it's either you know or you don't. And when you do, you take action. When you don't, you ask how to take action. But in both those scenarios, you can identify with clarity where you stand. Staying present in discomfort. This is number 2, okay? You see, when she gets emotional, don't fix it. Don't run. Stay. Hold the space. Sit in silence. Breathe through it. Allow her to feel that you're feeling it too. Right? Because she doesn't want you to solve things. She just needs to know that you're still there with her. You're not rushing her through the process. Right? And I know a lot of us just want to fix the problem and move on. Yeah, that's cool. That's really good. But if you're using logic to fix that problem, you'd realize that the logic itself isn't needed in that room. Emotions are. You're meant to hold the space. That's how you fix the problem. If you want the problem to actually go away, it's not about taking action. It's about embracing the moment. Number 3, take emotional lead. Set the tone. Like I said, guide, direct. You're a leader, right? Stop just managing, micromanaging and saying, oh, this is, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. You don't want to deal with no micromanaging yourself, so why do you expect her to be someone that wants to deal with that? So initiate the conversation, apologize first, own your reactions, and own your responses. Saying, yeah, I thought about this, and this is the best course of action. Right? You see, leadership isn't about control, it's about direction. And if you don't lead emotionally, well, you basically, put it this way, it's either you lead emotionally or you hand the power over to chaos. And I know which one I'll pick. because I picked the other one, it didn't go too well for me. You see, chaos doesn't have a direction. It either stays or goes. It goes, comes back as an emotional wound later on. It adds to the pile. It just distresses the whole thing. But you see, when you lead with intention, you're able to deal and know what direction it should take. Listen, I'm not here to make you feel guilty for doing something that your parents didn't do, society never told you to do, your friends never told you to do, before you watch this video. And on top of it, most guys don't do, most guys giving advice don't do, right? I'm probably one of the only people that's not telling you to sob yourself up into tears and actually learn how to guide yourself instead of just being a woman for a few seconds. Learn how to guide yourself so that you can stand tall at all times. This is what this is about. I want you to be vulnerably strong so that you can say what you need to say with truth and power. Because you've owned that stuff. It's your stuff to own. It's your story. And no one can take that away from you. You see, the cost of ignoring this is your peace, your power, your purpose. And it's not worth, it's too expensive. In today's day and age, not being vulnerably strong will cost you everything as a man. And look, listen, you don't have to do what I've said you should do in this video. You can pretend to keep composed. But the keyword is pretending. And we both know, me and you watching this video, know that it doesn't last. If anything, it eats your life. It's called self-abandonment. It subtracts from the peace that you were initially looking for as a man. What you need is a system. You need guidance, and you need to recalibrate your identity. Once you're able to understand and hone this, you become unstoppable. Now, if this is you, DM me lead on Instagram. Book a call in the description if you're interested in working with me on a one-to-one basis. I work with specific people, I don't work with everyone. Why? Because my time is precious. I'm not going to save everyone, I know that. But those that are ready to change, I'll work with 100%. I've also got a book available, so if that helps, in 40 days time, you're going to be able to speak these things too. Because I have shared everything I know in a book. My story, the lessons I took, and on a day-to-day basis, the thing you can do to change your story. I want to end with this. The most dangerous man isn't the loudest man in the room. There is the man that can be fully seen and still stand tall. It's the man that can shed a tear and smile in your face in the next second after, because he's learned how to own his emotions. And most importantly, he isn't scared to show anything. I want you to decide today. I'm going to subscribe and I'm going to venture on my journey of manhood. Discover myself and be the man that can attract the woman of my legacy. If this is you, subscribe, drop me a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.